after this?
Sit.
I'm gonna sleep. Do it. You're gonna tell me go to the studio.
But at least there you know there's coffee,
Yeah.
muffins.
Yeah, I
so
know.
You
Are you not going that side after this?
I'm going into plenary, but I need to first.
Plenary, okay.
I must file this quick because they're waiting.
Oh, okay.
Then I'll go.
Oh, okay.
But they've got 2, 3 photographers.
Mm-hmm.
The 4th.
I know the guy who was really working with.
Elman.
That one.
Yeah, he's from GCIS.
Oh.
I work for Durban.
Oh, okay. How many years were you for?
20.
So I'm working for 38 years.
38?
Yeah. So now,
Durban. Oh, this.
Doctor. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. The suit is mixed.
Oh, not bad.
Doctor? Oh, sorry.
You take this picture now and then I
Oh, yes.
Yeah. As I welcome you.
Oh, the 18 is here. Oh.
Okay. Always on As always. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Now we just
Yeah, they already do that. Of course not. Yes, you want to greet the president? Young Menor. No, we're not problem. We want to solve the other problems. It's created the problem. Okay, good. It's too early to bother.
I think
Man, the good time.
My sister.
Yes.
How are you, my sister?
Fine, and how are you?
I'm very well.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Please come through.
Thank you. Thank you.
They want to take a picture with you. With me, yeah. They want you to stand here. Oh, they like going to see my kids. Yes. And they want to handshake you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you inside.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, my brother. How are you? Very well. How is my brother? He's good? They want to take a picture. Handshake? Wonderful. Welcome. Thank you so much. Executive Secretary. Mr. President. Very well, how are you? Welcome. They want to take a picture of you rather than me. They always say. Excellent. Thank you. You know that man? President. How are you? Very well. Good to see you. Wonderful. They want to take a picture with you and me. Yes, the Durban, you on that side. They like taking pictures.
Yes.
Excellencies.
They want a handshake.
Excellencies.
She wanted to come. Are we okay?
To your right, one step to your right, please, Your Excellencies.
Thank you. They like these pictures.
Yes.
Executive Secretary. Who's next?
Ati. 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 At the center.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. President. How are you this morning?
Very well. How are you?
I'm well.
Good to see you. Come, let's take a nice picture. Yes, please stand on that side. Nice people like taking pictures. Yeah, nice handshake. I need a stand. My brother,
Morning, my brother.
how are you?
How are you? How you slept?
Very well. And
Very
you?
well. Very well.
You did?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So much.
They want a picture.
Yes. Always.
They always want a picture.
Yes.
Okay? And they want a handshake. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Secretary.
Thanks so much.
I was doing it just now.
Yes.
How are you?
All right, the salsa.
I haven't seen you for a long time.
Yes, it's been a while.
They don't know you've been around for years.
Exactly.
I can look at your hair.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. President? Right in the middle, please. Just a little bit.
Yes.
Just okay.
It was a trick.
Yeah. I want to precisely where it says. The back line. Yeah.
No, we need
Also, Seychelles.
beautiful.
No.
Slowly.
Edri.
No.
It's too far.
One side.
Guys,
One side. Yeah. This side. Okay.
Okay.
Are you happy to
Check. I'm
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, shall we rise for the entrance of their excellencies into the meeting hall? I think their excellencies were just finishing their family photo. They should be walking into the room very soon. as their excellencies walk in, we will all remain standing. We can see the media coming in. I think their excellencies were just finishing their family photo. They should be walking into the room very soon. Anthems will be done as follows. We'll begin with the anthem of the Republic of South Africa, followed by the anthem of the Southern African Development Community, and the anthem of the African Union, in that order. And the anthems will be performed by the South African National Defence Force Choir, accompanied by the South African Navy Band. Thank you. Shall we put our hands together to welcome their excellencies, His Majesty, as they walk into the hall? Will remain standing until all their excellencies are on their stations. Will remain standing for the anthems once all their excellencies are on their stations. Thank you. We may now proceed with the anthems. We may proceed with the anthem, starting with the anthem of the Republic of South Africa, followed by the SADC anthem and the anthem of African Union. Thank you.
See
Design it. Technology can leapfrog development, not into tomorrow's manufactured elsewhere, but back to the understanding that we have always been architects, activating the world together. Angola, where the Atlantic receives the memory of kingdoms. Botswana, where the Okavango turns desert into abundance. Comoros, perfumed islands stitching Africa to the Indian Ocean. Democratic Republic of Congo, heart of the forest, minerals powering the digital age. Eswatini, where ceremony carries the dignity of continuity. Lesotho, mountain kingdom lifting water to water. Malawi, where the Great Lakes gather communities on its shores. Mauritius, where continents meet and become possibilities. Mozambique, long coastline that remembers the footprints of the first to guard its oceans. South Africa, many languages, one unfinished journey towards belonging. Tanzania, where Kiswahili carries African thought across borders. Zambia, one shore of Musiwatunya, the smoke that thunders. Zimbabwe, the other shore, an ancient civilization of stone. SADC, 16 nations, one region, many ways of carrying light, relatives remembering each other. The land activated us. We activated the land, and now today we remember together.
Sanbonani. 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 Tai Congo mame. Congo. Congo mama. Tai Congo mame. Congo. Congo mama. Tai shebeleza njalo mama. Ebuseni baba. Yashambama. Tai shebeleza njalo mama. Ebuseni baba. Yashambama. Tai Congo mame. Congo. Congo mama. Tai Congo mame. Congo. Congo mama. Tai shebeleza njalo mama. Ebuseni mama. Nashambama. Tai shebeleza njalo mama. Ebuseni mama. Nashambama. Arapi babu Jomo Feda. Ebuseni mama. Eshe. Eshe. Kachim, 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 kachim. Manga eti sleeve wala. Eshe, 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 eshe. Tukulunkulu phelo waziyo ngekusasala. Tomunyo tuya sokamba ma. Obuya na. Tangobuya na. Tukulunkulu phelo waziyo ngekusasala. Tomunyo tuya sokamba ma. Obuya na. Tangobuya na. Bathi wafika usatha ebandlala thawubathis akumipo sakumba pha obuya na tangobuya na bathi wafika usatha ebandlala thawubathis akumipo sakumba pha obuya na tangobuya na Phelo waziyo ngekusasala Tomunyo tuya sukamba ma Obuya na Tangobuya na Tunkulunkulu phelo waziyo ngekusasala Tomunyo tuya sukamba ma Obuya na Tangobuya na Sabo.
Excellent depiction of our heritage and who we are as a people. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, good morning. Sawubona, Dumelang, bon dia, bonjour, habari, mangwanani, Salam alaikum. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the opening ceremony of the 46th Ordinary Summit of the Southern African Development Community of Heads of State and Government. I, Ambassador Mason, and Ms. Barbara Lopi are honored to co-direct the proceedings for this auspicious occasion, the 46th, under the theme, Resilient, Sustainable, and Inclusive Industrialization through Infrastructure Development, Agricultural and Critical Minerals Transformation in Pursuit of a Just World, Your Excellencies.
Thank you, Ambassador Mason. Your Excellencies, Your Majesty, distinguished delegates, a happy SADC Day to you all. Today, August 17, on this day in 1992, our regional community, Southern African Development Community, was transformed into a community, and we are commemorating this day. I'm not going to empty the speeches of our principals, but allow me at this point just to recognize their excellencies, heads of states, and representatives who are in our midst this morning. From the Kingdom of Eswatini, we welcome His Majesty, King Mswati III. Thank you. From the Republic of South Africa, we welcome His Excellency, President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. Our gracious host this morning. From the Republic of Zimbabwe, we welcome His Excellency, President Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, the President. From the Republic of Boko, the President. From the Republic of Namibia, we welcome Her Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, the President. From the Republic of Mozambique, we welcome His Excellency, the President, Mr. Daniel Francisco Chapo. From the Republic of Mauritius, we welcome Honorable Dr. Navid Chandra Ramgolan, Prime Minister. From the Republic of Madagascar, we welcome His Excellency Colonel Michael Randrianirina, the President of the Refoundation of the Republic of Madagascar. From the Kingdom of Lesotho, the Kingdom in the Sky, we welcome the Right Honorable Mr. Samuel Ntsokwani Matekane, Prime Minister. From the Republic of Malawi, we welcome the Right Honorable Mr. Enoch Kazingeni Chihana, the Second Vice President of the Republic of Malawi. From the Democratic Republic of the Congo, we welcome His Excellency, Mr. Guy Kabombo Mwandiavita, Deputy Prime Minister and also Minister of National Defense and Veterans. From the Republic of Angola, we have His Excellency Ambassador Tete Antonio, the Minister of External Relations of the Republic of Angola. From the United Republic of Tanzania, we welcome Honorable Dr. Rimo Nyansaho, Minister of Defense and National Service of the United Republic of Tanzania. From the Republic of Zambia, we welcome Her Excellency Ms. Pamela Chisanga, Zambia's High Commissioner to the Republic of Botswana and SADC representatives. From the Republic of Seychelles, sorry, I omitted His Excellency in the order of precedence, my apologies. We have His Excellency, the President, Dr. Matthew Antonio Hime from the Republic of Seychelles. On the front row, I would also want to recognize and welcome the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations for the Republic of South Africa, Minister Ronald Ramola, the chairperson of the SADC Council of Ministers. I recognize the Executive Secretary of SADC, His Excellency Mr. Elias Mpedi Mahosi. I recognize the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Dr. Clever Gatete. In our midst, we would also like to recognize our distinguished invited guests from we have the representatives of the African Union Commission, the representative of the African Development Bank. We have the president of the Arab Bank of Economic Development in Africa, Badia. We have the Director General of the Africa CDC. We have the Secretary General for SADC Parliamentary Forum, the CEO for Auda NEPAD, and representatives of regional economic communities. And we would also want to recognize members of the diplomatic corps that have been invited, and of course, their first spouses in our midst. Shall we please just applause for the first spouses, including the first gentleman. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, we also have special guests that are also gracing the opening ceremony with us this morning. Our Ms. Toko Didiza in our midst, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Ms. Refilwe Mchweni Tsipani, also invited. The host province, Premier of KwaZulu-Natal Province, Mr. Tami Ntuli. Ministers, deputy ministers, and members of the executive councils that are also in our midst this morning. His Majesty King Misizulu Ka Swelentini, also invited to grace the occasion this morning. Members of Parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, the Executive Mayor of eThekwini Municipality, Councillor Vusimusi Kaba. Directors General, Business and Organized Labor present this morning.
Thank you. In line with our program for this morning, we're now going to have welcome remarks from the Executive Secretary of SADC, His Excellency Mr. Elias Mpedi Mahosi. Your Excellency, you may come to the podium and deliver your welcome introductory remarks.
Please bear with me as I activate the technology. Thank you. Finally, we are there. Thank you very much, our directors of ceremony. Your Majesty Kim Mswati III of the Kingdom of Eswatini and incoming chairperson of the SADC, Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation. Your Excellency, Mr. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and the chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and outgoing chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, President of the Republic of Malawi and the chairperson of the SADC organ, who is ably represented today by the Right Honorable Mr. Enoch Chihana, the Second Vice President of the Republic of Malawi. Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania and outgoing chairperson of the SADC organ, represented by Honorable Dr. Rimo Nyansaho, the Minister of Defense and National Service of the United Republic of Tanzania. Your esteemed Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Honorable Mr. Ronald Lamola, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa and the Chairperson of the Council of Ministers, all Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers from the SADC region and elsewhere, representatives from international, continental, and regional organizations, as well as our colleagues from the regional economic communities, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Your Worship, the Mayor of Tekwini, senior officials of SADC member states, my colleagues, the Deputy Executive Secretaries, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all and a happy SADC Day to you. It is with a distinct honor and a great sense of humility that I welcome you to the 46th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Southern African Development Community, or SADC, convened here in the vibrant city of Durban in this great Republic of South Africa. At the outset, allow me to express our profound gratitude to His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, the government, and the people of the Republic of South Africa for graciously hosting this summit. We deeply appreciate the warm hospitality, excellent arrangements, and generous hospitality and generosity extended to all delegates and guests. We are especially privileged by the presence of their Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, whose leadership, vision, and unwavering commitment continue to guide our community in advancing regional integration, peace, stability, sustainable development, and our shared prosperity. I also extend a warm welcome to our cooperating partners, some of who are amongst us today, representatives of continental and international organizations, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and all our distinguished guests gathered here today. Your presence reflects the strength of our partnership and our collective determination to advance the aspirations of the peoples of our regional community. It also solidifies and strengthens our cooperation and mutual benefit as we bring value to the region and to our citizens especially. Your Majesty, Excellencies, as we gather today and commemorate the SADC Day, we celebrate a remarkable journey of solidarity, resilience, and transformation. For more than 4 decades, SADC has demonstrated the enduring value of regional cooperation in promoting peace and security, expanding trade and investment, strengthening infrastructure connectivity, deepening regional integration, and improving the lives of our citizens. We pay tribute to the founding leaders whose courage, foresight, and commitment to regional solidarity laid the foundations of our community. Their legacy continues to inspire our efforts as we work together to build a stronger, more integrated, peaceful, and prosperous Southern Africa. I believe that ours today is to sustain this legacy, if not to enrich it, as we carve new and progressive chapters in pursuit of a shared prosperity. From its beginnings as a movement for regional cooperation and liberation, SADC has evolved from a liberation-focused cooperation into one of Africa's most dynamic and resilient regional communities. Today, our region is home to approximately 382 million people and a combined gross domestic product exceeding 847 billion United States dollars. These achievements are a testament to the transformative power of unity, of partnership, and of collective action. Our progress has been made possible by a foundation that remains indispensable, and that is peace and stability. The relative peace and stability enjoyed across our region reflects the commitment of member states to choose dialogue, diplomacy, democratic governance, conflict prevention, and peaceful resolution of disputes. These are rare attributes in most parts of our continent and should be guarded jealously to sustain the peace we are enjoying today. Yesterday, the Troika Summit of the SADC Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation reviewed political and security developments across the region, including the situations in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the republics of Madagascar and Mozambique. This has reaffirmed our shared responsibility to safeguard peace, security, and stability as essential prerequisites for sustainable development and regional integration. Your Majesty, Excellencies, the situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo remains a matter of concern. We welcome the progress reported through diplomatic engagements and the African-led peace initiatives. We trust that these initiatives bear fruits of peace, of coexistence, social harmony, and economic progress, rather than reverse the gains already achieved by previous interventions. SADC remains steadfast in its solidarity with the government and the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and reaffirms its commitment to supporting efforts to restore peace, protect civilians, and create conditions conducive to sustainable development. We also extend our solidarity to the government and the people of the DRC as well as they contend with the Ebola outbreak. Our heartfelt condolences go to the families and communities who have lost loved ones. Our deep appreciation goes to the dedicated healthcare workers who continue to sacrifice their very own lives to serve and save others. And to our partners, including the Africa CDC, the World Health Organization, among many others, for coordinating and supporting the response efforts. This outbreak, however, is a stark reminder of the importance of strengthening regional cooperation in health security, disease surveillance, preparedness, and coordinated and swift response as a community. SADC remains committed to supporting member states in building resilient health systems capable of effectively addressing current and emerging public health challenges. We are equally encouraged by the positive dialogue taking place in the Republic of Madagascar through efforts of the SADC Secretariat, the Panel of Elders, and the Mediation Reference Group. Such efforts continue to strengthen trust, consensus building, and inclusive governance. Your Majesty, Excellencies, our region is also affected by the frequent and rapidly changing global environment, which is characterized by economic uncertainty, climate-related challenges, technological transformation, and shifting geopolitical realities. These occurrences are increasingly reminding us of why we exist as a community and why we must expedite our own integration. We now realize that we can no longer depend on others elsewhere, but on ourselves, that we need each other more and must depend on each other more, and so must trust each other more. Equally, in an increasingly interconnected world, no country can realize its full potential in isolation. Our strength lies in working together, trading together, investing together, and building together. Your Excellencies, I believe that we have a duty to create this reality and future for ourselves. As the global economy transitions towards clean energy, digital technologies, and advanced manufacturing, SADC is uniquely positioned to play a strategic role. The region is endowed with abundant reserves of critical minerals, including platinum group metals, lithium, cobalt, graphite, manganese, rare earth elements, and copper, all of which are essential to the industries of the future. Our ambition must be to move beyond the export of raw materials and position SADC as a globally competitive center for beneficiation, value addition, manufacturing, innovation, and indeed the industrialization we are pursuing. However, the challenge for us as a region is not a lack of these resources, nor is it that we don't know their potential to transform our economies and change our fortunes. It is not even that we have not talked about them in the past and made commitments to change the trajectory. The challenge is, when do we stop them to transporting them in raw form and start adding value to them and creating sustainable jobs and wealth? Once more, we do not need permission from anyone to start this process. Let us start now. Your Majesty, Excellencies, industrialization remains central to achieving structural transformation, economic diversification, job creation, poverty reduction, and improved living standards. However, industrialization cannot succeed without modern and reliable infrastructure. Robust and sustainable energy systems, refreshed and reliable transport networks, ports and logistics platforms, and cost-effective digital connectivity are indispensable enablers of industrialization and ultimately competitiveness, and economic growth. Agriculture also remains a cornerstone of many of our economies and a source of livelihoods for millions of our citizens. Despite climate-related changes, member states continue to invest in irrigation, mechanization, climate-smart agriculture, improved seed systems, and agro-processing. These efforts have strengthened resilience and contributed to improvements in food security across the region and to the reduction of food insecurity by 16%. To fully unlock the potential of the agricultural sector, we must continue investing across its entire value chain, from production and processing to storage, transport, and to market access. Doing so will enhance food security, create jobs, and drive inclusive growth. This vision that I just painted is reflected in the theme of this summit, which reads, and I quote, "Resilient, sustainable, inclusive industrialization through infrastructure development, agricultural and critical minerals transformation in pursuit of a just world," end of quote. It captures the aspirations of our region and underscores the importance of building resilient economies capable of creating opportunities for all. Your Majesty, Excellencies, the success of our region will depend largely on its people, particularly our youth. As technological changes accelerates and economies become increasingly knowledge-driven, it is imperative that our young people are equipped with the skills, education, and opportunities necessary for them to thrive. Investment in quality education, technical and vocational skills development, digital literacy, innovation, entrepreneurship, science and technology must therefore remain among our regional priorities. We must create an enabling environment that empowers young women and men to participate meaningfully in economic transformation. Supporting youth-led enterprises, expanding access to finance and technology, and creating pathways to decent employment will be critical to our long-term success. We therefore, at this juncture, wish to extend our congratulations to His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa and his team, led by Honorable Pax Tau, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, on the successful hosting of the 9th SADC Industrialization Week. Over the years, the SADC Industrialization Week has become the region's premier platform for dialogue between governments, the private sector, investors, innovators, and development partners. The recommendations emerging from this year's edition should help the region implement the SADC industrialization strategy and promote. Over the years, the SADC Industrialization Week has become the region's premier platform for dialogue between governments, the private sector, investors, innovators, and development partners. The recommendations emerging from this year's edition should help the region implement the SADC industrialization strategy and promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth. As we celebrate this, a region that is united in purpose, resilient in the face of challenges, and steadfast in advancing the prosperity and dignity of all its people. We should build a SADC where peace prevails, economies grow, industries flourish, trade expands, and young people thrive, and opportunities reach every community. On behalf of the SADC Secretariat, I wish to congratulate His Excellency President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa as he assumes the chair of SADC today. We pledge our full support and unwavering commitment to facilitate His Excellency to execute his mandate effectively and successfully. We are confident, sir, that under your decorated leadership, SADC will continue to advance its vision of a peaceful, resilient, industrialized, prosperous, and integrated Southern Africa. We extend our appreciation to our member states, cooperating partners, stakeholders, and citizens whose support and contributions continue to strengthen our community and brings us closer to our shared vision of a peaceful, prosperous, and integrated Southern Africa. We also extend gratitude to the dedicated staff of the SADC Secretariat, led by my two deputies, for their professionalism, expertise, and commitment to implementing summit decisions, especially in advancing the regional integration agenda. Your Majesty, Excellencies, I wish you fruitful deliberations and every success in this summit today. I thank you for your attention. Merci beaucoup. Muito obrigado. Asante sana. Ke a leboga.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Executive Secretary, Mr. Mahosi. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, I now have the honor to call to the podium His Excellency, Mr. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and host of the 46th Ordinary SADC Summit of Heads of State and Government. Mr. President.
Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Ministers and Deputy Ministers amongst us, officials of our government, and in our case, the Premier of our province here in KwaZulu-Natal, and the Mayor of eThekwini Metropolitan Municipality. I greet you all and extend the greetings of the people of South Africa and welcome you warmly. Executive Secretary, thank you for all the accolades that you shower me with. But when you said I'm decorated, I started looking at myself to see whether I'm decorated this morning. And I just saw myself wearing a normal, simple tie, so you overdo it a little when you say decorated. We welcome you to our country, to the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and to the beautiful city of Durban. You've come not as strangers or as visitors, but as brothers and sisters, as partners, and as fellow custodians of a shared Southern African destiny. And we do hope that during your visit and time here, you will experience the warmth, the friendship, and the hospitality of the people of South Africa. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, we meet in a city that occupies a very special place in the history of African unity. It was here in Durban, 24 years ago, that the African Union was officially launched. That historic gathering marked Africa's determination to move from the struggle against colonialism and apartheid towards a new era of colonial cooperation at the confluence of two defining moments in Africa's history. The establishment of these anniversaries are more than dates on a calendar. They remind us of the vision, the courage, and the determination of those who came before us, our forebears and our founders. They also challenge us to ask whether we are moving with sufficient speed and purpose to realize the Africa that they envisaged. The African Union was born out of the conviction that Africa's future would be secured through cooperation, integration, and unity. That vision is embodied in Agenda 2063 and in its aspiration for an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa driven by its own citizens. As SADC, we embraced that vision. We gather at this summit to give practical meaning to its promise to transform borders into bridges, national economies into a shared market, and geographic proximity into shared prosperity. At the outset, I wish to express our appreciation to my elder brother, His Excellency President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and outgoing chairperson of SADC. We thank you, President Mnangagwa, for your leadership and stewardship of our community. You have led us well in the previous period. We particularly appreciate the spirit of partnership with which Zimbabwe worked with South Africa during the period of interim leadership. Zimbabwe's support to co-hosting sectoral ministerial meetings helped to ensure continuity in the work of our community. We likewise acknowledge Zambia, the members of the Troika, and the SADC Secretariat and all member states for the cooperation and collective leadership they have demonstrated. The story of SADC is a story of the triumph of solidarity over division and adversity. Before we became a development community, we were a community of solidarity. The peoples of this region stood together against colonialism, against minority rule, and against apartheid. The countries of Southern Africa endured aggression, destabilization, and immense economic hardship because they understood that no country in this region could be truly free while another remained oppressed. Together, the people of our region overcame colonial rule and apartheid. Together, we transformed Southern Africa from a region marked by conflict and oppression into a community founded on peace, on democracy, cooperation, and a common future. Today, our task is to give economic and social meaning to that political liberation. We are a community of 16 nations and more than 430 million people, with a GDP that is edging towards $1 trillion shortly. We possess abundant mineral resources, as our executive secretary said, vast agricultural potential, a youthful population, a growing industrial and technological capability. We have made important progress in the previous years. The SADC Free Trade Area has created a platform for greater regional commerce. The SADC real-time gross settlement system facilitates cross-border payments and draws our economies much closer together. Through the Southern African Power Pool, member states share electricity infrastructure and resources across national borders. Through regional cooperation, we are strengthening our collective capacity to prevent conflict, to address instability, to support democratic governance, and to respond to political and security challenges. Through the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the World Health Organization, we are strengthening disease surveillance, pandemic preparedness, and health security across our region. The importance of this cooperation is demonstrated by the devastating Ebola outbreak caused by the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. At the latest count, nearly 5,000 confirmed cases have been recorded and more than 2,300 lives have been lost. Behind every number is a human life, is a family. Behind every statistics is a family and a household that continues to experience sadness and grief. Behind every number is an anxious community and a health worker placing their own life at risk to save others. And on behalf of our government and the people of Southern Africa, we express our deepest condolences to the government and to the people of the Democratic Republic of the Congo as they go through this devastating pandemic. We commend the courage of Congolese health workers. We appreciate the leadership of the government of the DRC, the Africa CDC, especially Dr. Kaseya, who is here, who is the Director General of this Africa CDC and the World Health Organization, working with regional and international partners to coordinate the response. But the outbreak continues to outpace our efforts. We must do much more, and we commend the government of the DRC of doing what they are doing, monitoring the development of this virus. We must act with urgency, all of us, and we call for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in the affected conflict areas in the Eastern DRC, and for the safe and secure humanitarian access so that health workers can reach every affected community. And we call on all parties to respect health facilities, health workers, and humanitarian operations. And we call on governments to avoid indiscriminate restrictions on travel and trade against affected countries. This generalized ban on travel from countries that are affected by a pandemic is clearly unfair. Such restrictions are not supported by public health evidence. They damage economies, they disrupt livelihoods, and may drive movement through unmonitored border crossings, thereby making containment much more difficult. As SADC, we stand in solidarity with the Democratic Republic of the Congo and its peoples. We must strengthen surveillance, laboratory capacity, emergency coordination, and clinical preparedness in neighboring member states and across our region, because what has broken out in the DRC could easily spread and affect many other countries in our region. We must also ensure that financial pledges are translated urgently into resources on the ground. Protecting Africa from epidemics requires more than responding when outbreaks occur. I speak as I do on this matter, having been appointed by the African Union as the champion for pandemic surveillance and response. It requires sustained investment in prevention, surveillance, resilient health systems, research, and the African production of vaccines, diagnostics, and medicines. This is an important test of solidarity and a practical test of our able to pledge solidarity with others, and also Africa's determination to build greater health sovereignty. Your Majesties and Excellencies, the work undertaken across all these areas demonstrates that SADC is not simply a forum for meetings, for summits and communiques. SADC is an instrument through which we give practical effect to our vision of a peaceful, integrated, industrialized, and successful and prosperous Southern Africa. The report of the Executive Secretary, Mr. Elias Mahosi, details the progress that has been made, as he was also speaking. It also challenges us to do much more with greater urgency, with focus, and also with discipline. And we thank the Executive Secretary, the Secretariat, and senior officials of SADC, and indeed our ministers, the Council of Ministers as led by Minister Lamola of South Africa, for the sterling work that they've undertaken preparing for this summit. While our regional integration agenda is making progress, the pace of transformation remains slow. Our region recorded economic growth of approximately 3.4% in 2025, yet intra-SADC trade accounted for only around 1/5 of the region's total trade. After decades of integration, we have not yet truly and fully unlocked the potential of our regional market. We continue to import too many goods that we could produce within our region. We continue to export, as we heard from our Executive Secretary, raw materials that we could process and beneficiate here ourselves in our region. We continue to procure services from elsewhere that our own people and businesses have the skills and the capacity to provide. Every raw material exported without beneficiation represents value that has left our shores. Every product imported that could competitively be manufactured here represents jobs that could have been created in our communities. We have everything we need across our 16 member states to meet the needs of our people. We have the natural resources. We have the land and agricultural potential, and we do have the skills and capabilities that can produce all the needs of our people. Above all, we have more than 400 million people whose energy, ingenuity, enterprise must become the driving force of our development. The people of our region are asking us to deliver the dividend of economic liberation. They want decent jobs, they want growing industries, reliable electricity, affordable food, quality health care, education, and opportunities for the youth of our region. They expect regional integration to improve their daily lives in visible, practical, and meaningful ways. So this summit must therefore accelerate through the decisions that we will take. The implementation of the Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan of 2020 to 2030. First, we must deepen industrialization and build regional value chains. The minerals and agricultural commodities of our region must become the foundation of Southern African manufacturing. We must process more of what we mine and add value to more of what we grow and manufacture more of what we consume. Secondly, we must invest boldly in regional infrastructure. We do need the roads that should link our countries. We need the efficient railways that should carry the minerals and manufactured goods, and modern ports that should connect Southern Africa to continental and global markets. Our infrastructure must connect not only our capitals and commercial centers, but also rural communities, our border towns and unserviced regions, underserviced rural areas that have remained on the margins of development. And thirdly, we must strengthen our energy, water, and digital security. We should also expand electricity generation and transmission capacity and deepen cooperation through the existing Southern African power pool and strengthen it. Every citizen must have access to safe water and adequate sanitation. We must therefore invest in cross-border water infrastructure to secure water for our households, our farms, and industries. We must expand affordable digital connectivity so that every community, every entrepreneur, and every young person can participate fully in the digital economy. And fourthly, we must build climate-resilient food systems. And we must also be able to respond to climate diversity, as well as agricultural expertise to feed our people and become major global producers of food. We must improve agricultural productivity, strengthen regional food reserves and agricultural value chains, and support smallholder and emerging farmers. And fifthly, we must make full use of the opportunities that are presented by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. In the end, SADC must become a powerful platform from which our businesses can access a continental market of more than 1.4 billion people that reside on our continent. But this will require us to remove non-tariff barriers, improve border management, harmonize standards, and make it easier for goods, services, capital, and skills to move out. They must be properly costed, they must be funded, assigned, and monitored. Our communiques must become construction sites, factories, power lines, water systems, laboratories, businesses, and create jobs for our young people. Regional integration must be seen and felt in the daily lives of our people. Now, in the end, none of this will be possible without peace, security, and stability. Peace without development is fragile. Development without peace is impossible. We must continue to invest in preventative diplomacy, mediation, and political dialogues to solve political challenges and problems. We must strengthen the work of the SADC panel of elders, the organ troika, and our regional institutions. We must also resolve differences that may exist through dialogue, uphold our shared democratic principles, and act collectively whenever the peace and stability of our region are threatened. We have done so in the past. Our community, in the end, is like a river system. Every member state of our 16 countries is a tributary with its own history, its own identity, its own character, its own strength. When those separate currents come together, they become a powerful force that carries opportunity across borders and sustains all in its path. A tributary does not lose its identity when it joins a great river. It gains reach, depth, and power, and flows strongly. In the same way, regional integration does not diminish our sovereignty. It multiplies our collective capacity to secure the well-being of the people of Southern Africa. Our community must therefore become more than the sum of its member states. It must have the institutional strength, the authority and resources to advance our common interests and realize our shared vision. I would like to see this summit to be remembered, not merely for the declarations that we will adopt, but for the decisions that we implement. Let this summit in Durban, the city in which the African Union was launched, become the place where SADC renewed its determination to build a truly integrated regional economy. And we must turn our borders into bridges, and we must turn our resources into industries, and we must turn our youthful population into a powerful democratic dividend that will benefit all the peoples of Southern Africa. And we must turn this solidarity that has been so strong over the years into a shared prosperity. And this summit must therefore inspire a new era of regional integration that delivers dignity, opportunity, and the hope of every citizen of Southern Africa. Let this summit affirm our commitment to peace, security, and democracy. We should emerge from this summit stronger, with resolve to build diversified industries and resilient economies. And so, in the end, we must move forward as SADC and implement the SADC Vision 2050, which is about a peaceful, inclusive, competitive, and prosperous region in which no country and no person is left behind. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to declare the 46th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Southern African Development Community officially opened, and I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Majesty, Excellencies, we will now listen to a short statement from His Excellency, Dr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, who is unable to join us this morning, but we will have sent a short video clip for this occasion. Your Excellencies.
Your Excellency, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of the Republic of South Africa, and incoming Chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and the outgoing Chairperson of SADC. Your Majesties, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government. Your Excellency, Mr. Elias Magozi, the Executive Secretary of SADC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to address the 46th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Southern African Development Community. I would have wished to join you in Durban. I'm, however, pleased to be represented by Her Excellency Lerato Mataboge, the African Union Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy. I conveyed through her the full commitment of the African Union Commission to SADC and its member states. Allow me to commend the Republic of Zimbabwe for its leadership of SADC over the past year, and to congratulate the Republic of South Africa as it assumes the chairmanship of the community. I also commend the Republic of Malawi for its stewardship of the organ. Excellencies, SADC has long been a pillar of Africa's integration project. Its contribution to peace and security, regional integration, infrastructure, development, and economic transformation extends well beyond Southern Africa and contributes directly to the realization of Agenda 2063. I'm therefore particularly encouraged by the strengthening of cooperation between the African Union Commission and SADC. In line with the 2021 revised protocol on relations between the African Union and the regional economic communities, our collaboration has become more regular, substantive, and operational. We have seen this in our closer coordination on peace and security challenges, including in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Madagascar. Consultations between the leadership of the African Union Commission and the regional economic communities have also become more regular, while our mid-year coordination meetings are increasingly focused on substantive issues of coordination, implementation, and complementarity. We must build on this progress. More than 3 decades ago, the Abuja Treaty recognized that Africa's integration would be built through its regional economic communities. Our responsibility today is to make that architecture work more effectively. This requires greater clarity of responsibilities, stronger complementarity, and less duplication between the African Union, the regional economic communities, and member states. This is why completing the ongoing exercise on the division of labor is so important. Its effective implementation should provide a clearer framework for determining responsibilities and ensuring that our respective institutions reinforce one another. This is not simply an institutional exercise. It is about making our union more effective and ensuring that our decisions translate into concrete results for the African people. I therefore welcome the increasing involvement of member states in this process. Excellencies, SADC is already making an important contribution to this effort. As chair of the Regional Economic Community Coordination Platform, SADC is helping to strengthen cooperation among Africa's regional economic communities and regional mechanisms. Its contributions within the AGA-APSA platform is also helping to strengthen synergies between our continental governance, peace and security architectures. I wish in this regard to recognize the valuable work of the SADC Permanent Representation to the African Union in Addis Ababa, whose sustained engagement has contributed to the closer cooperation we see today. The challenges facing Africa increasingly transcend national and regional boundaries. Our response must therefore be equally coordinated. A strong African Union needs strong regional economic communities, and strong regional economic communities needs an African Union capable of ensuring continental coherence and advancing our common priorities. As South Africa assumes the chairmanship of SADC, I look forward to working closely with His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa and the other heads of state and government of the region to further deepen this partnership. Together, let us build an African institutional architecture that is clearer in its responsibilities, stronger in its coordination, and above all, more effective in delivering for our peoples. I wish you fruitful deliberations and every success for this 46th Ordinary Summit. Long live SADC, long live the African Union, and long live Africa. I thank you.
Our sincere appreciation for that video message. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, we will now listen to a statement from His Excellency, Mr. Clever Gatete, the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Your Excellency.
It's always difficult to speak after the strong message by the President and the Executive Secretary of the SADC. Your Majesty King Mswati III of Eswatini, Your Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and the incoming Chairperson of SADC, and our gracious host, Your Excellency Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and the outgoing chair of the SADC, Excellencies, heads of state and government here present, honorable ministers and heads of delegations, Your Excellency Elias Mahosi, Executive Secretary of SADC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to join you today at the 46th Ordinary Summit of SADC Heads of State and Government. I commend the government and people of South Africa for their warm hospitality and congratulate SADC Secretariat under the leadership of the Executive Secretary, Elias Mahosi, for convening the summit under the crucial theme, Resilient, Sustainable and Inclusive Industrialization through Infrastructure Development, Agricultural and Critical Minerals Transformation in Pursuit of a Just World. Your Excellency, our meeting takes place at a critical time in the world. Technological innovation, climate crisis, shifting geopolitics, and the reconfiguration of global supply chains are reshaping trade, investment, and industrial production. Meanwhile, development aid is declining. Concessional resources are becoming scarce, and borrowing costs are rising. The crisis in the Middle East is further adding pressure by disrupting trade routes, raising energy, food, and fertilizer price volatility, fueling inflation, eroding the value of the African currencies, and tightening financing conditions. In response, global nations are investing in advanced manufacturing, food systems transformation, energy security, including clean energy, digitization, and strategic industries. So where does Africa fit in this new economic order? For generations, the continent has supplied the world with raw and semi-finished commodities while receiving a disproportionately small share of the massive wealth created from the sector. Africa exports minerals, others manufacture batteries, electric vehicles, and renewable energy technologies. Africa exports agriculture commodities, others process, package, and market higher value food products. Africa also imports significant quantities of fertilizer despite possessing natural gas, phosphates, potash, and industrial capacity. This pattern limits job creation, weakens resilience, and constrains structural transformation. Are we going to continue exporting raw materials while others capture the higher value stages of production, or shall we become a competitive center of manufacturing, innovation, and value creation? The theme of this year's summit provides the answer. Business as usual cannot continue. Industrialization built on infrastructure, agriculture, and critical minerals is an economic necessity if we are to create productive jobs, add value to our resources, and position Africa in the industries of the future. Importantly, Southern Africa begins with extraordinary advantages, as mentioned by the Executive Secretary of SADC. It has rich deposits of platinum, lithium, diamonds, manganese, cobalt, and copper, resources indispensable for the global energy transition. It also has fertile land, manufacturing capacity, financial markets, power infrastructure, and transport corridors linking Indian and Atlantic Oceans. Across Africa, vast mineral and agricultural resources, renewable energy potential, and growing industrial capabilities provide a strong foundation for transformation. The continent, as everybody knows, holds about 30% of global reserves of critical energy transition minerals, for which demand could more than triple by 2030 under the net zero scenarios. So we have the resources. The question is, how do we transform these resources into greater prosperity for our people? Minerals already contribute around 10% of SADC's GDP and 25% of exports, but only 7% of direct employment. This imbalance tells us where the opportunity lies: value addition, regional integration, and infrastructure development. Fortunately, Southern Africa already offers evidence of the industrial future that we seek. South Africa's automotive sector has built strong supply networks, while Botswana's shift into diamond cutting, polishing, and trading shows how greater value can be retained domestically. Zimbabwe's investment in lithium processing demonstrates a growing recognition that value must be captured before export. Mozambique's natural gas developments show how resource wealth can supply industrialization, fertilizer production, and regional energy security. And the Lobito corridor, connecting Angola to Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, indicates how infrastructure can reduce transport costs, unlock investment, and support value chains. The Southern African Power Pool illustrates how cooperation can improve energy security and create larger industrial markets. And the Zambia-DRC Battery Electric Vehicle Initiative provides a model for transforming cobalt, copper, and lithium into battery products and electric mobility value chains. And the economics of all this is compelling. The United Nations Economic Commission for Africa's research found that building a 10,000-ton battery precursor plant in the Democratic Republic of the Congo could cost about $39 million, roughly 3 times less than in the United States, while also reducing emissions compared with existing supply chains routed around China. This is precisely the kind of opportunity Africa must seize, not simply exporting ore, but producing higher value goods, developing technical capabilities and skills, and retaining more value in the continent. This is the approach the Economic Commission for Africa's planned work with the African Development Bank on Africa critical mineral value chains and related strategic corridors. Such as strategic value chain corridors may include the battery and electric vehicle value chain involving DRC, Zambia, Tanzania, and South Africa, among others. The lithium industrialization corridor involving Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa. The graphite processing corridor involving Mozambique, Madagascar, and Tanzania, and the iron ore, manganese, and green industrial materials corridor involving Guinea, Mauritania, Liberia, South Africa, Gabon, Zimbabwe, and Namibia. Your Majesty, Excellencies, the ideas exist, opportunities abound. What is needed is implementation, supported by strategic investments, strong institutions, and partnerships around a shared vision. Regional value chains must become the cornerstone of Africa's industrial transformation, because no single country possesses every resource, technology, or capability required to compete globally. Together, SADC has the minerals, agriculture, energy, finance, ports, skills, and markets needed to build competitive regional production networks. How then do we move forward? Allow me to suggest, among others, 6 priorities. First, we must mobilize financing and partnerships at scale. Governments must lead, but cannot finance this transformation alone. Development finance institutions, sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, the private sector and partners must prepare bankable regional projects in energy, transport, industrial parks, logistics, digital infrastructure, and agro-industrial development. Second, we must accelerate mineral beneficiation and regional critical mineral value chains. Beneficiation should not stop at initial processing. The objective must be integrated regional industries spanning extraction, refining, precursor materials, component manufacturing, and finished products. Third, we must transform agriculture into an engine of industrialization. This requires investment in seed systems, mechanization, irrigation, storage, food processing, cold chains, logistics, and export infrastructure. Stronger value chains in maize, sorghum, livestock, horticulture, and agro-processing can reduce food import dependency, create jobs, and strengthen resilience against climate shocks. Fourth, fertilizer and agricultural input security must become a strategic regional priority. Reliable and affordable fertilizer is essential for agriculture transformation. So Southern Africa has natural resources, phosphate reserves, transport infrastructure, and markets to develop regional fertilizer value chains that lower costs for farmers while creating industrial capabilities and jobs. Fifth, we must strengthen regional value chains through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Minerals may be found in one country, energy in another, manufacturing capability in a third, and consumer markets across the region. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area provides the framework to combine these advantages by reducing trade barriers, improving customs efficiency, and facilitating cross-border investments. And sixth, we must accelerate investment in energy and enabling infrastructure as mentioned by the President. Industrialization cannot flourish without reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy, efficient transport networks, and modern digital technology, connectivity. Building on the Southern African power pool, the region should expand generation, strengthen transmission interconnections, and accelerate investments in renewable energy, hydroelectric power, gas to power, and battery storage. Your Majesty, Excellencies, Southern Africa does not need to start from the scratch. If the region combines critical mineral wealth with regional energy markets, fertilizer production, modern transport corridors, and competitive agricultural value chains, it can become not only the supply of raw materials, but a center of industrial production and food systems transformation. The pathway is clear: implementation at scale, coordinated regional action, and sustained investment in what is required. And the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa remains committed to working alongside SADC, African Union Commission, the Africa Development Bank, and all partners to turn this vision into reality. Together, we can move beyond exporting potential to creating lasting prosperity for our people, the SADC, and the continent. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, the Secretariat of the Southern African Development Community implements a range of strategic initiatives to engage the public, including the youth, learners, students, media professionals, in advancing regional integration and development. Among these initiatives are the SADC Secondary School Essay Competitions, Tertiary Institutions Essay Competition, and the SADC Media Awards. These initiatives promote awareness of SADC and also encourage creativity, critical thinking, and recognize excellency in storytelling of the SADC story. At this point, we will now announce the winners of the 2026 SADC competition. We're going to start with the secondary school essay competition. We will flag the winners on the screen as I announce them. We have Mr. Siamboga Makoba from South Africa. Second position, we have Ms. Dize Carmen Francisco, Republic of Mozambique. And the first position, we have Mr. Tulani Mahambire, Republic of Zimbabwe. I'll move to the 2026 SADC Tertiary Institution Essay Competition. Third position, we have Ms. Lizelle Benice Mujoro, Republic of Namibia. Second position, we have Ms. Yambikani Botoman, Republic of Malawi. And the first position, we have Ms. Vuyelwa Karabo Simelani, Kingdom of Eswatini. And for the 2026 Media Awards, I'll start with the print category. The second position goes to Mr. Aurelio Janeiro, Republic of Angola. And the first position goes to Mr. Piletos Mungwambe, Republic of Mozambique. Television category, second prize goes to Mr. Delphine Analceto Uwantuan, Mozambique. And the first position goes to Ms. Elago Ndapeiwa Shitatala, Namibia. Photo category, second position goes to Mr. Siabulela Duda, South Africa. I think he's in this room. And then the first prize goes to Mr. Dome Aseno Semedio, Angola. And finally, with radio, we have the second prize going to Mr. Sikaka Riabohile, Gladys, South Africa. And the first prize, Mr. Horacio Ramoy, Mozambique. Thank you, and we wish to congratulate the winners of those awards. We will now proceed to the maiden speech to be delivered by the President of Seychelles, His Excellency, Mr. Patrick Yemen. As a new member of the SADC family, as per tradition, we allow the new member of the SADC family to deliver their maiden speech. His Excellency Dr. Matthew Antonio Patrick Yemen, President of the Republic of Seychelles. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
His Majesty King Mswati III, His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and Interim Chairperson of SADC, His Excellency Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, outgoing Chairperson of SADC, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Executive Secretary of SADC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a profound honor to address this distinguished assembly for the first time as President of the Republic of Seychelles. I thank the government and people of the Republic of South Africa for their warm hospitality, and I commend the Republic of Zimbabwe for its stewardship of our community as outgoing chair. As Seychelles marks 50 years of independence, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the ideals upon which SADC was founded: solidarity, regional integration, and the shared prosperity of our people. Excellencies, history rarely announces the moment when it changes course. It simply presents a generation with a choice, and I believe that this is Africa's moment. Our predecessors fought for political liberation. They secured our sovereignty and built the foundations of regional cooperation. Our generation is called upon to fulfill a different mission, to transform Africa's immense potential into prosperity for its people. For centuries, others crossed the ocean in search of Africa's wealth. Today, history presents us with a different opportunity, not simply to supply the world with our resources, but to build prosperity from them. The measure of Africa's success can no longer be the value of what leaves our shores, but the opportunities we create within them. The theme of this summit points us in that direction: industrialization, infrastructure, agricultural transformation, and the responsible development of our critical minerals are not separate priorities. Together, they form the foundation of a resilient, competitive, and prosperous Southern Africa. Excellencies, the world around us is changing rapidly. Geopolitical tensions, disruptions to global supply chains, volatile energy markets, and climate-related events remind us that our prosperity cannot depend solely on circumstances beyond our control. For Seychelles, these realities are immediate. As an island nation, we experience the effects of global disruptions in the cost of food, fuel, and essential goods, and in the confidence upon which our tourism economy depends. Yet, this is not the experience of Seychelles alone. It is a reminder that in today's world, the resilience of every member state depends upon the resilience of the community as a whole. Our response must therefore be greater regional integration, not as an aspiration, but as an economic necessity. Geography has blessed our community with different strengths. Some member states possess fertile agricultural islands. Others hold the critical minerals that will shape the industries of tomorrow. Others serve as the gateways through which Southern Africa connects to global markets. These are not competing advantages. They are complementary strengths. The prosperity of a landlocked economy depends upon efficient access to ports. The success of our ports depends upon vibrant regional production and seamless transport corridors. Our future will be built by connecting these strengths into one integrated regional economy. Excellencies, industrialization is not simply about manufacturing. It is about dignity. It is about creating opportunities for our young people. It is about ensuring that African resources create African jobs, African industries, and African prosperity. Africa should no longer export raw materials and import finished products at a premium. The era of African potential must now become the era of African prosperity. This demands leadership, it demands investment, and above all, it demands unity. Excellencies, the founders of SADC understood that our greatest strength would never be found in the size of our individual economies. It would be found in the unity of our purpose. That truth remains as relevant today as it was over 4 decades ago. History will not judge our generation by the speeches we delivered or the declarations we adopted. It will judge us by whether we had the courage to transform our resources into opportunity, our integration into prosperity, and our shared vision into tangible progress for the people we serve. Africa's greatest resource has never been beneath its soil. It has always been the determination of its people. If we unite that determination with visionary leadership, sound institutions, and bold economic transformation, then the next chapter of global development will not simply include Africa, it will be shaped by Africa. And my country, Seychelles, stands ready to play its part. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Seychelles, Dr. Matthew Patrick Hemen. We're now going to transition into the handover ceremony where we will witness the Republic of South Africa assuming the chairpersonship of the Southern African Development Community. At this point, I now have the honor to humbly invite His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and the outgoing chairperson of SADC, to deliver his statement, and thereafter we will witness the handover. Your Excellency, President Mnangagwa, you have the floor.
Your Majesty, King Mswati III of the Kingdom of Eswatini and incoming chairperson of the organ on politics, defense, and security cooperation. Your Excellency, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, my young brother, President of the Republic of South Africa and interim chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Professor Arthur Peter Mtarika, President of the Republic of Malawi, represented by the Right Honorable Mr. Enoch Kadzingeni Chihana, Second Vice President of the Republic of Malawi and chairperson of the organ of politics, defense, and security cooperation. Your Excellency, Dr. Samir Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania and outgoing chairperson of Dr. Emmanuel John Nsimbi, Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Honorable Ministers, representatives of international, continental, and regional organizations and economic communities, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, and High Commissioners, distinguished delegates, fellow SADC citizens who are here, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. It is with profound gratitude that I address the 46th Ordinary Summit of SADC, Heads of State and Government, in my capacity as the outgoing chairperson. This summit has been convened under the able leadership of my dear young brother, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, and dear brother, President Cyril Ramaphosa, for his astute and visionary leadership and the stewardship of our regional body over the past year as interim chairperson. He guided the region through the complexities of a turbulent geopolitical landscape, ensuring that our integration agenda remained on course. However, it is with a deep sense of loss that I acknowledge the passing of two towering figures of our continent, former President Festus Mogae of Botswana and the former acting President Guy Scott of Zambia. President Mohai, a man of immense wisdom and a key architect of SADC, leaves behind a legacy of principled governance. Similarly, we mourn the death of Dr. Guy Scott, who served his nation with distinction, courage, and resolve. May their souls continue to rest in eternal peace. On behalf of the government and people of Zimbabwe, I also wish to once again extend deepest condolences to our brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We have tragically lost loved ones to the Ebola outbreak. We stand in solidarity with you during this difficult time and commend your resilience in the face of this health crisis. Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I formally hand over the leadership of our organization to my dear young brother, Cyril Ramaphosa, under the theme Resilient, Sustainable and Inclusive Decentralization through Infrastructure Development, Agricultural and Critical Minerals Transformation in Pursuit of a Just World. The primary goal of this theme is, among others, to ensure that we add value to our heritage-based resources and move away from exporting raw materials by building local processing, refining, and manufacturing capacities across Southern Africa. This will boost intra-SADC trade while harmonizing regulations in agro-processing and infrastructure development. By processing our minerals, we create jobs, foster innovation, and retain the value that rightfully belongs to our people. As Zimbabwe, we are emboldened with our national development philosophy, ilizwe lakhiwa, libuswe, likwelekelwe nabanikazi balo, nyika inovakwa, igotongwa, ikonamatigwa nebene bayo. This timeless truth entails that nations, cities, and regions are built by their own people. This is, by and large, our rallying call for self-determination. By placing our people at the core of our development agenda, we ensure that the wealth of our region benefits our citizens and improve their quality of life. While we value our international partnerships, experience and hindsight on external funding, which is the risk to compromise our sovereignty and national priorities. We must therefore build and enhance our own financial and industrial capabilities. The operationalization of the SADC Regional Development Fund is timely and remains a cornerstone for our developmental agenda and strategy. I commend the progress realized to date and appeal to those member states who are yet to sign or ratify this critical protocol to do so. Our people are an important resource to build our region. We must empower them through education and skills development. In Zimbabwe, our heritage-based education 5.0 model continues to integrate our rich indigenous knowledge systems with contemporary scientific inquiry, innovation, technology, to accelerate industrialization and modernization. This is further ensuring that our talented young people look at their rich heritage not as a relic of the past, but as a solid foundation to build a more prosperous future. As a region, we have a duty to continue investing in education systems that produce solutions, reclaiming our identity and nurturing generations that believe in our unique capabilities as a people. Meanwhile, progress made in the implementation of high-impact regional infrastructure projects, including those nearing completion, is encouraging. The completion of the Kazungula water project is worth celebrating and set to provide clean water to residents and the border users. Additional collective investments in the SADC Water Fund and Transboundary Water Cooperation deserve our support towards safeguarding and guaranteeing this most precious resource for generations to come. Advancement in meteorological observation is sharpening our agricultural planning, strengthening early warning systems, and bolstering disaster preparedness. These achievements are pillars of resilience upon which we will build a prosperous and sustainable future for all our people. Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to acknowledge the dedicated leadership of His Excellency Professor Peter Mutharika as chairperson of the Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation. The organ remains the backbone of our collective pursuit of peace and stability in our region. In the same vein, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to His Majesty King Mswati III on assuming this critical stewardship. Your Majesty, please be assured of Zimbabwe's support and cooperation as you lead our regional body in advancing regional integration, peace and security. However, we are deeply concerned about the ongoing conflict and humanitarian challenges in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. We welcome the ongoing diplomatic and mediation efforts in that area. Similarly, we are encouraged by the positive outcomes of engagements led by the panel of elders and the mediation reference group supported by the SADC Secretariat in Madagascar. The region remains committed to supporting the people and government of Madagascar as they chart their reform process towards sustainable peace, stability, and development within the agreed time frames. We also welcome the good progress in the construction of the SADC Standby Force Regional Logistic Depot in Botswana. I urge all member states to take a lead in ensuring that the requisite funding is secured to facilitate the completion of the construction of this critical regional facility. Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the people and government of Zimbabwe, I express my profound gratitude to the SADC region, the African Union and United Nations for the unequivocal support towards Zimbabwe's election for a non-permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council for the period 2027 to 2028. We thank you. The endorsement of our bid was a vote of confidence in Zimbabwe's commitment to the principles of peace, dialogue, and international cooperation. This seat is not for Zimbabwe alone. It is a seat for the SADC region, along with the broader African continent and global south. We shall serve our tenure with integrity and use the opportunity to advance peace and justice, as well as dialogue, inclusivity, peaceful solutions, and a shared prosperity, anchored on sustainable development, industrialization, and modernization. In the same spirit, let me take this opportunity to thank you all for the continued solidarity and support you are extending to Zimbabwe as we endure the unjust unilateral sanctions imposed on us by some stupid Western countries. We reiterate our call for the unconditional removal of these sanctions. Your Majesty, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to officially hand over the mantle of leadership of organization to His Excellency and young brother, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. I'm confident that under his astute leadership, guided by the principle of Ubuntu and the indomitable spirit of SADC, we will overcome any challenges towards building the future of our people, the future our people deserve. Be assured, Your Excellency and dear brother, of Zimbabwe's continued support and cooperation as you steer the organization towards the SADC we all want. May your tenure be marked by success, unity, and accelerated integration of our economies, as well as enhanced people-to-people cooperation. As your elder brother, I'll always be there to guide you. I wish the Southern African Development Community a happy and memorable SADC Day. Live long SADC, live long our unity, live long our solidarity. God bless you all. God bless SADC. God bless Africa. I thank you. Muito obrigado.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. Your Excellency would like you to remain on the podium so that you be handing over the chairpersonship. Now I invite also His Excellency, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, to come to the podium to receive the instruments of power as the chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, you may proceed to the podium. The Executive Secretary of SADC, may you also proceed to facilitate the handover. We will ask their excellencies just to come in the center here so that we can see them properly. We are going to witness the exchange of power whereby His Excellency President Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa will hand over the chairperson's badge to His Excellency President Ramaphosa. The badge, SADC badge, is engraved with the President's name and his title as the chairperson of SADC. After receiving the chairperson's badge, His Excellency President Ramaphosa will also be given the gavel, one of the instruments of symbolizing that he's now the chairperson of SADC. Thank you. We will now also see the chairperson receiving the gavel. Thank you, and congratulations, Your Excellency President Ramaphosa, the chairperson of SADC, and also congratulations to His Excellency Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, the outgoing chairperson. We will now have an acceptance statement by the chairperson, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, who will deliver his acceptance statement. Thank you.
Program Director, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Majesty, I'd like to stand on the protocols that have already been recognized and pronounced on. On behalf of the government and the people of South Africa, I accept the responsibility of assuming the chairpersonship of the Southern African Development Community. We do so with profound humility, a deep sense of duty, and an unwavering commitment to the peoples of Southern Africa. South Africa regards this chairpersonship not simply as an honor bestowed upon our country, but as a responsibility entrusted to us by our region. We accept it conscious of the debt of gratitude that South Africa owes to the countries and the peoples of Southern Africa. During the darkest days of apartheid, the nations of this region stood with the people of South Africa. They provided shelter to our freedom fighters. They supported our struggle. They endured destabilization, economic hardship, and loss of lives because they believed that no country in Southern Africa could be truly free while another remained oppressed. Our participation in SADC is founded upon this history of courage, sacrifice, and solidarity. It is sustained by our conviction that the destiny of the countries of Southern Africa are inseparable and that our progress will be secured only through unity, cooperation, and common purpose. I express my sincere gratitude to my elder brother, and Your Excellency President Mnangagwa. I should tell you that His Majesty King Mswati III and I were in conversation this morning, and we wondered what you are taking to still remain so young. And that brings into question my continued deference to you as my elder brother. But you remain my elder brother, and would like to thank you for your chairpersonship of SADC, for your leadership, and the stewardship of our community. We thank you for the progress that has been achieved during your tenure and for the firm foundation upon which we will continue to build. I also express our appreciation to the SADC Secretariat under the leadership of the Executive Secretary, Mr. Elias Mahosi, for his dedication to the work that he has been given in advancing the programs and the transformation agenda of our community. During South Africa's chairship, we will work closely with every member state, guided by the principle of sovereign equality, mutual respect, solidarity, and consensus. We will build upon the previous chairpersons and the work that they did to advance the implementation of the SADC Vision 2050. Our foremost responsibility will be to improve the lives of the peoples of Southern Africa. We must deepen regional integration so that goods, services, capital, skills can move more efficiently across our borders. And we will work to strengthen the value chains in our region to expand the intra-African trade and mobilize investment in infrastructure. We have made tremendous progress in this regard, and we will be building on what has already been achieved. And we will do everything to work together to advance industrialization agenda, and we will place young people, women, entrepreneurs at the center of our region's economic transformation. At the same time, we will continue to safeguard peace, security, democracy, and stability. The strength of SADC lies not only in its institutions or its agreements, but it lies in the solidarity of its member states. South Africa will therefore approach this chairpersonship as a servant of the region. We will listen, we will consult, we will seek consensus. Above all, we will work with every member state to translate our shared commitments into visible and lasting progress. The most fitting way for South Africa to honor the sacrifices that people in this region made for our freedom is to dedicate ourselves to the freedom, dignity, and prosperity of all. As we accept this responsibility, we wish to congratulate the Republic of Zimbabwe for acceding to the non-permanent seat of the United Nations Security Council. And we have every confidence that Zimbabwe will represent not only our region, but the entire continent in the various deliberations at the United Nations. And when President Mnangagwa goes to the United Nations General Assembly meeting in September, we will know that he is carrying the entire continent, not only SADC, on his shoulders as he represents us. So we do accept this responsibility with humility, and we undertake to execute it with integrity, diligence, unwavering commitment to the unity of our region. So we will work with every member state, and thank you very much for bestowing on us this honor, and we accept it once again with the humility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Majesty, Your Excellencies, this concludes the opening ceremony. In your honor, Your Excellencies, luncheon will now be served in the interest of time, and then we will then commence with the closed session. I thank you. The leaders will dine in the leaders' lounge. Ministers and other invited guests will dine in the ministerial lounge, senior officials downstairs. Protocol, please conduct the leaders.